All right, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna get out there, you're gonna set a plan, you're gonna stick to the plan, and you're gonna execute that plan without fail. All right? What's up? It's your boy Mark, and welcome back to, well, whatever the hell this is. Usually it's just me sharing some of the insights that I've gleaned over my life. I'm no one special. It's just that I hope that whatever lessons that I have learned are things that you could possibly learn, because I'm always looking for new knowledge and wisdom and experiences from other people, especially people that have gone through some shit. And at 38 years old, practically middle-aged, we have all gone through some crap, at least at this point in our lives. And so here we are. So today I wanted to talk about this whole progression of ready, fire, aim. And the reason why that's important to talk about is that we don't always get the opportunity to plan life out the way we would like it to be. And while we sit there and we ruminate and think about the way we want our lives to pan out, and we try and have these great expectations of how to plan things and execute on them, it doesn't necessarily work out that way. Sometimes life just throws stuff at you, and you just gotta be as prepared as you can be to deal with the things that are coming your way, execute and attack it, or fire, as I'm saying, recalibrate as you go and adjust to that stimulus as you go, and then execute once again, which is fire and aim. So what do I mean by this? Over time, I've come to realize that while it is nice to be able to sit down and assess whatever resources and tools and learnings and company that I have available to me to be able to execute on any particular thing in my life, it doesn't always pan out that way, because, well, life gets a say. And when life does have a say, you just have to be able to adapt and adjust to whatever that stimulus is, whatever input that life is throwing your way. And so oftentimes what I've found is that I just have to adjust. And when you experience challenges in your life, when you experience a certain amount of suffering and tragedy, you become really adept at being able to recalibrate as you go and being able to roll with the punches, so to speak. And that, I guess, that fundamentally is what ready, fire, aim is being able to roll with the punches. Now, what does ready mean? Ready means being able to prepare whatever resources you have, whether that's getting your money in order, getting your body in order, making sure that you're paying attention to your health and your wellness, taking care of the relationships around you, so that when things do happen, you're in a much better place to absorb whatever the chaos is that comes your way, so that you can deal with it and confront whatever those challenges happen to be. Because oftentimes we are so busy just kind of rolling with the punches without any consideration for what the next thing could be, that we don't ever really pay attention enough to go, oh, we need to make sure that finances at the very least are in order, and that we have some sort of stability in our lives with our housing and the people that we have around us, or support systems. And when we neglect those things, and we prepare to make ready with those elements in our lives, it's a lot harder to deal with conflict and tension and chaos when it finally does come. Now, when it finally does come, the fire and aim portion tend to kind of happen in conjunction, or at the same time. Because what tends to happen in the fire portion of this whole progression is that you are having to execute as you go. So the fire, at least from my understanding of things, is that you're actually executing along the way, and you're having to do and deal with the stimulus that's coming your way, and you have to adapt and adjust to whatever's coming your way in an appropriate fashion. So you're addressing it, you're dealing with it, you're working through the problem itself, and you're moving along. And again, it's happening in conjunction with the aim portion, because the aim portion assumes a certain level of consideration and awareness, and considering your environment, and then assessing, and then moving again to the next set of actions. Now, going back to the fire portion of this progression, what we tend to do is we lack the ability to take action, because we often are mired in this idea that we should have the ability to plan things out, or we want to take things into consideration and analyze things. But then the problem with that is you get stuck in analysis paralysis, because you're having to consider all these variables. Oftentimes the variables stack up, and then now you're unable to set a course of action to address the problem, and now you're just trapped, and life is constantly flanking on you or navigating around you and making it worse. It's not that life necessarily is actively navigating on you, but life is actively happening as life does, and then you're having to deal with whatever the circumstances happens to be. So, for example, to make it an easy one, if you happen to move in a place where there is hurricanes and flooding, and you didn't prepare for those things, and you happen to find yourself having to deal with the flood because you decided to stay in place in whatever area that you happen to be living in, and they told you to evacuate. Now you're having to deal with the circumstances and the consequences of that, and you're having to deal with it as it happens. So you can only do so many things now that your house is getting flooded, and as things are getting flooded, you're going to have to prioritize what things you can take with you, making sure that whatever family or whatever loved ones you happen to have around you, or pets or important things or valuables that you want to take with you, you're going to have to triage and prioritize those things as you move along to the next step, which is probably to get to higher land, and then eventually to get to somewhere that's a lot safer and is more sheltered away from that flood. But again, the fire and the aim portion are happening at the same time through this whole progression, and you're recalibrating as you go, having to take action at every single step. So don't get mired in the fire. Don't get mired in the firing portion because you're busy trying to analyze your next steps. Just take action and move on to the next steps and analyze as you go. Inevitably, obviously, you want to get to a place where, as things settle down, as things simmer and calm down, you're going to get to have an opportunity where you can regroup, where you can reconstitute all of your resources, and then you'll be able to better prepare for the next set of actions that you're going to have to take, and so on and so forth. But until that point, you're going to have to deal with things as they come. But there will always be a gap in time where you'll have an easier and easier time and have less and less stimulus to have to deal with, because the gap of time for you to be able to breathe and to function and to think clearly through the next stimulus is going to get bigger. But until then, you're just going to have to deal with it as it comes. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. I hope that makes sense. Again, this is something that I've come to realize because I have had sort of an obsessive compulsive side of me that has wanted life to be a lot more organized, more thought through, and I do find myself being frustrated at the challenge of having to deal with life as it comes sometimes, because I wish I had more time, I wish I had more resources, and I just got to make do with what I have. And while it's not necessarily cataclysmic or chaotic or happening at a fast pace, it's still happening at a day-to-day basis, where I had to take into consideration, where do I stand, what are my resources, what are my necessary actions, and how can I recalibrate to put myself in a better circumstance moving forward as I go along. So ready, fire, aim. I hope this helped, and I hope this made sense for you. If you know somebody who is in a place where they're constantly wanting things to be neat and tidy and very well organized and put together in a nice box for them to sort through in their lives, but they seem to be having a problem with dealing that, and it's an existential problem, share this video with them. Maybe it'll give them perspective to go, okay, life isn't necessarily this big, tidy thing, and I just got to roll with the punches, so to speak. I hate that saying, but it is what it is. That's another one too. Anyway, so share this video with them. Maybe they can find some insight with this. Maybe they can find some helpful information with this, or at least a different perspective to let them know, hey, I can just go with how things are, ready, fire, aim, and work my way towards a more advantageous position as I move along. Other than that, if you happen to like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you hate this video and absolutely loathe it, and you can't stand my face and my stupid beanie and my scratching, go ahead and give it 2 thumbs down so that you can show me how much you really freaking hate it. If you happen to have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, questions whatsoever, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And if you like this video and you like watching videos like this, I try to share this as often as I can. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing it 3 times a week. Go ahead and subscribe or follow so that you can see them every time I post them. Once again, it's just me sharing whatever perspective and insight I've had in my own life. Hopefully it can be of some benefit to you. My name is Mark. Peace out.